The finance strategies that we are going to discuss in this part have great importance to provide the business with the assets necessary to supplement operations and development. There are three major focuses for the development of the company's financial system. You may choose either to raise your assets, to increase the turnover, or to diminish risks. Whatever strategy you choose, it is exclusive for the rest too. For example, raising assets usually increases risks, minimizing risks leads to a longer turnover period, and the like. Let's have a closer look at each strategy. The assets accumulation strategy is based on the simple truth that money makes money. The more money you attract to the business, the more profits you reach. The matter is that the immense part of the overall assets may be borrowed, while the profits earned add to the equity. There are different ways to accumulate more assets under your command. One can raise accounts payable, thus borrowing from vendors and subcontractors. Bank loans, stocks, and obligations allow to attract money for the promise of future profits. Cascaded secured credits allow you to build a pyramid of assets where one secures another. Some companies use capital investment solutions and resource conservation policies to save more assets for the future. No matter what way you use to accumulate the assets, it is always about the same rule: money should work and make more money. Another finance strategy is to speed up companies' turnover. If there is no opportunity to attract more money, it is still an opportunity to shorten the financial cycle and make the assets work more often. If you decide to adopt this strategy, a number of instruments may help you. Collect your debts or sell them to a factoring company. Even smaller sums that actually got into your account can bring you much more profits than larger ones suspended in debt. Take prepayment as often as you can. Restructure lump sum payments to the tranche payments in order to receive the cash flows earlier. Offer bank loans for your clients to restructure the payment and increase your offer accessibility. The major idea here is to pay as late as you can while receiving payments as early as it is possible. The third financial strategy is directed towards minimizing the risks or their actual impacts. The practical approach to the risk management tells us to have a number of actions and instruments to prevent, block, or minimize the risks rather than calculating them precisely. Project-based financing is the cornerstone of minimizing risks. Transform all your costs to investments. Evaluate the necessity and the efficiency of the investments. Create separate budgets. Thus, you can avoid the bulk of misspending. Portfolio investment let you diversify the assets without actual business diversification. Futures contracting or risk hedging are the instruments to minimize the impact of future uncertainty. Endowment is a good way to create controllable reserves and support the activities in hard times. A letter of credit is an easy and convenient way to avoid the unfair contractor. Never take the risks for yourself. There are lots of instruments to avoid and share the risks. Finance management is not a very important aspect for a small private business school. Its business model allows to operate at minimal turnover assets and thus take minimal financial risks. Nevertheless, we chose exactly the risk avoidance strategy. We wanted to minimize the mis-expenditures, so we introduced the three instruments. We switched to the project-based financing. This way, each separate project has its own budget for capital and operational expenditures. We preferred not to own, but to outsource the capital assets, like for example the conference halls or the catering equipment. Finally, we started demanding 30% prepayment that covered the majority of our expenditures on the project. This all was a good way to save money and avoid the risks. Let me summarize this part. The finance strategies are important to manage the cash flows and profits. There are three major finance strategies oriented towards assets accumulation, turnover speed-up, and risk avoidance. Each strategy has a number of instruments to use and implement the core ideas: to attract more money under your control, to shorten the financial cycle, and to avoid or minimize the risks. The proper choice of the strategies as well as the correct implementation of the instruments ensure the success of your business. In this model, we've covered the main functional strategies, the strategies for finance, customers, internal processes, and learning and growth. The coherent chain of functional strategies makes your business firm and sustainable.